couldn't get yourself on the horn?
I don't think I did enough.
Come on, man. We saw that putback dunk.
Yeah, just the dunk
We saw
was
the
enough.
putback dunk.
It's all right. It's okay. No worries.
Jamal Magic, David West, and those guys.
Saw you chopping it up with Mike over there. Was it just good to have Mike D'Antoni around?
It is. It's always good to have Mike around. Just a fun guy to be around, and I'm picking his brain about our offense, what some things that I can do or we can do to be more creative, keep the floor open, and he's seen it all. And so, like I said, it's always good to have Mike here.
Last year being your first year, how much did you just go to that as a sounding board or stuff like that throughout last year?
A ton. We talked a lot after games, especially. And he just, his message to me was just keep it simple. What you see is what you see, and keep doing the things that we're doing and coming in and having a really good gym.
What's the biggest difference for you, year one to year two on the first day of camp?
I feel like I know a little bit more just based off of going through a whole season. But then we're incorporating Z, so it's still a lot for me to learn, and the guys will teach me as I go.
So you brought him up first. So how was working him back in and working a big guy?
He was good. He was great today. He got up and down. We didn't do a ton in the morning session. We'll come back at night and play a little bit more live, and so it's going to be a progression with him.
What was the main message you tried to get across today, first day of camp?
The main message is last year I felt we were a pretty resilient group, and it was fitting. This city, the things that people overcome here, and this year I just think we got to be relentless. We're still hunting. We still have a lot that we want to accomplish, and the work starts now.
And you mentioned it yesterday, but how much does it help your process that you brought so many guys back so they kind of understand the system, understand what you're demanding, all that kind of stuff?
It helps a ton. It's easy to put in concepts. It's easy to put in your defense and your offense because pretty much all of the guys are coming back from last year. So we're probably a step ahead in that way, but we just have to push to continue to be better.
For you as a coach, what did it feel like to have him out there, have Zion out there today, and you get to see the team that you originally thought you were kind of signing on to coach?
I'm just happy for Z more than anything. I'm happy for him, his family. It's been a long recovery. Even going back to the season that he did play, he missed a few games towards the end of the season. So I know for him, this is a big step. Getting to practice, working some kinks out, and we'll just keep working together from there.
Coach, you talked about yesterday how you were impressed by seeing the teachings you guys, all the coaching staff gave them last year in pickup games and such. Did that carry over into this today?
It did. Like I said, the guys are pretty far along in terms of understanding concepts, our defense and our offense, but at the end of the day, we understand the work that's in front of us. We don't take anything for granted, and our mindset is to continue to come in and get better, and we got a good group.
Brooke mentioned yesterday that I think everybody was set to go except for Kyler and maybe Larry. What was Larry kind of able to do?
Larry went today. Like I said, today was not live and not a lot of contact. We'll see how he feels in the evening. But Kyra did more of the same that Larry did, but they won't. I know Kyra won't play 5-on-5 in the evening, so that's where we are.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Good to see you.
He's excited. Look at him. He's
clearly
ready.
excited.
He's ready to do media day. He's ready. We can do it together. He's
We can
ready
do
to
it
do
together.
media
I
day.
like that.
How was today for you?
Today was smooth. You know, I think Coach kept it pretty. I think he kept it pretty light. We coming back tonight. We get some real work in, and finally get to play with CJ. I'm excited.
Feel good just to be back out there on the practice floor?
I do. It feels really good. I ain't practiced like that for the team in a long time. So it is good to be back out there.
How excited are you to get to tonight where you get some?
Hey, I hate that. See, somebody ask CJ one question. we talked about this the other day. CJ, do you have a question you'd like to ask?
I'm actually curious as to how you feeling about
Okay,
tonight.
I'm sorry. That's a nice tie, though.
Thank you, appreciate it. How much are you looking forward to tonight being able to get some actual 5-on-5 work?
I'm excited about it, but mostly I think it's for conditioning because I can work out all I want, but it's hard to simulate 5-on-5 against high talented players.
And just how much does it help that y'all brought so many guys back from last year? You can kind of just pick up where you left off, and there's not so much install time.
This is my question.
Yeah, he looked directly at you.
From a continuity standpoint, I think it's important from a chemistry standpoint to build on what we've had and what they had before I got here, understanding the relationships, and obviously now we kind of add ourselves into the mix, work on spacing, work on familiarity, and then it'll be helpful when we play because, as we said before, you can work on dry offense, but you need to figure out the kinks against the defense.
For either of you, you and JJ had a pretty crazy two-man game when he played here. I mean, I know you're a different player, but do you feel like there's anything there like you could replicate, like get something like that going?
Nah, me and JJ had a phenomenal two-man game. JJ taught me a lot with that when it came to like how we ran our pick and roll. But I think with CJ's a different player, amazing shooter, but CJ puts the ball on the floor, so I'm gonna have to make a lot of different reads. And I think tonight, being the first time I get to play with him, I get to see it, like feel it up close. So I'll learn from there.
And this is your first full practice with Willie as well. Just what are your impressions, just getting the feel for how he coaches?
You can always tell Willie was a player, great coach, straightforward, like to get his work and then leave, and I respect that.
So just, I mean, overall.
That's one for me, then it was the other side.
Just overall, how did it feel just getting back out there, everybody?
It felt good. I usually take a few days off before the season starts to rest my body and my mind. So I got to go home and see my grandma and my father and spend some time just, collecting myself for the season. My mom will be here soon, so it'll be nice to kind of just take a break when I leave the gym. It's a break for me to see my wife and be with my son and my dog. So it was nice to decompress. And now that I'm out here, like I feel fully engaged, fully locked in, and I'm excited. My body feels pretty good, and you just get through the dog days and then get ready for the competition in the preseason.
So we saw you working with JV there a little bit. How excited are you to work with a big man that's as dynamic as him and can score from a lot of different places?
It's great. So Steven Adams, that's my dog. That's my dog for life. I miss playing with Steven, but I think Steven never looked to score. With JV, JV's a shooting threat. So I think that'll be like my first time in my career playing with like a shooting threat big. So like I said with CJ, I think it's one of those things I'm gonna have to fill out on the court and go from there. Let me ask you a question. You got an old dog and cane shirt on at the gas station.
That's classic right there.
What you got going on?
That's a classic right there. Come on, man.
That's it. Any more questions before we go?
We're good.
Good. Appreciate y'all.
Great job.
Yes. Yes.
What was your first day like?
That was good. You know, we had a good practice, you know, learning different concepts and stuff, you know, learning to play with different teammates. So, but that was good. You know, good team chemistry already, which is going to take us a long way.
How much did it just compare to the summer league practices?
Oh, it's very more, you know, high intensity, you know, a lot more like leadership and stuff out there with some of the older guys. So, you know, learning a lot still. Some of the older guys point us in the right direction, but, you know, there's a lot of guys out there to learn off. So I'm, you know, learning every day.
And what are just some of your early impressions on Willie Green and just how he wants to run his team?
You know, he's a great coach. You know, he's got a great basketball mind. You know, he knows how to treat his players. You know, he knows how he wants us to play this year. And, you know, so far, you know, all green flags for Willie. So I really enjoy working with him.
And what's just your read at this very early stage on you know, like offensive principles or just the way he wants you guys to play on that end?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we want to play fast this year, so we got some athletes to get up and down the floor. So, you know, we want to play as a team, play fast, play defense. But I think, you know, we got a lot of talent in this team. It's just about, you know, playing together.
This is, I guess, your first chance to be out here on the floor with Zion. What was that like watching him today?
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, Zion's a great player. You know, I wish that guy growing up. So you know, see him on the floor and, you know, looking healthy, fit in shape. So, you know, it's going to be exciting to see what he does this year.
Can you tell he's having a lot of fun? I know it's his first full training camp practice.
Exactly. Nah, he wants to be here, which is a good thing. You know, he loves his teammates. You know, he's a good talker, good leader. So, you know, it's good that he wants to be around and, you know, get better.
I know it's probably early because it's day one, but is there any overlap between the concepts you've been introduced here today and the stuff you've covered in the G League?
I mean, a lot of concepts are, you know, similar. There's obviously a few differences in, you know, different ways we want to rotate and stuff like that. But, you know, basketball is a simple game. You just got to, you know, hustle, close out, you know, guard your man. But, you know, rotations and stuff like that might change up a little bit. But, you know, so far it's all pretty straightforward. So.
Dyson, I'm sure you're picking a lot of brains, but is there anybody in particular you're looking for help with or advice or anything like that from?
You know, with CJ a lot, you know, we play the same position, so, you know, learning off him, you know, he's been in the league a long time. Garrett Temple has a good basketball brain, so, you know, those guards that, you know, been in the league a long time, you know, I want to pick their brain. You know, very good vocal leaders, you know, they point me in the right direction. So I'm learning every day off them for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.